Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Vunganyi. As always on this show, we bring you the latest news in entertainment, in fashion, in sports and film from around the world. And before we get into it, let's start off with some housekeeping. Now, due to the coronavirus, Voice of America is reducing the number of people who work from our headquarters here in Washington, D.C. And so our shows are going to look a little different as we deal with this virus. But as always, we are working to keep you informed, and we do appreciate that you're staying on with us as we go through all of this together. And with that said, let's get right into it. We start off with some sad news. The death of two legendary music stars, Alus Mabele from Loketo Band, and this week, the death of 86-year-old saxophone giant from Cameroon, considered one of the most influential musicians in world dance music, Mano Dibango, best known for his international 1972 hit Soul Makossa. VOA's Mariama Diallo reports.
86-year-old veteran Afro-jazz legend Mano Dibango died in Paris Tuesday after contracting the coronavirus. From his home in the Democratic Republic of Congo, fellow musician Kofi Olomide is shocked that Dibango is gone.
It's a huge loss. It happened at the moment we were confined. I myself am confined because it's the only way to fight this enemy.
Professor Andre Yoka Mudaba, director of the National Arts Institute in the DRC, says while Dibango is a lost musical treasure, he also had a force of personality.
Mano Dibango's symphonic laughter. He wouldn't say a sentence without bursting out laughing. He was a man at his age of an inalienable youth, unalterable and always positive.
In an interview last year, Dibango reflected on an exceptional career of more than 60 years.
I pinch myself in the morning and say to myself, I'm still alive. What am I up to today? The problem is, what's on my schedule? Not, eh? Yesterday was great. Nostalgia. This is great too. But above all, there's the fact that everyone has their own karma and way of doing things. It's the sum of many good and bad things because the two obviously go together.
A message on Dibango's official Facebook page says his funeral will be held in private, followed by a tribute when possible. Mariama Diallo, VOA News.
In other countries, celebrities are being tested positive for the virus, and those include Juventus forward Paulo Dybala, who posted on Twitter that he and his girlfriend contracted COVID-19. 79-year-old opera singer Placido Domingo also tested positive, which comes after his own glittering career had recently been stained by allegations of sexual misconduct. And the Palace of Monaco says that its ruler, Prince Albert II, also has contracted COVID-19. Talk show host Andy Cohen is on the list, as is Olga Kuryelenko, the Ukrainian actress who starred in the 2008 James Bond film Quantum of Solace. In sports news, we are learning that the Summer Olympics in Tokyo will be delayed, which makes it the first time in the history of the Olympics. The Cannes Film Festival has postponed its 73rd edition due to the coronavirus pandemic. Organizers of the French Riviera Festival say that they are considering moving to the end of June or the beginning of July. One of Britain's biggest summer music events, the Glastonbury Festival, is cancelled. And Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar and Paul McCartney were among the acts announced for the 50th anniversary edition. And one of fashion's biggest nights, the Met Gala, has been postponed due to the coronavirus outbreak. The news was broken by the event host Ann Winter on Vogue website. Many celebrities and entertainment companies have jumped at the opportunity to combat the pandemic. Rihanna's Clara Lino Foundation says that it is giving $5 million to support on-ground partners working on the front lines of disaster response, especially those focused on protecting and serving marginalized communities, helping the most vulnerable in the United States, the Caribbean, and Africa prepare for what is to come. Hollywood couple Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively announced on Instagram that they are donating $1 million to organizations working to get food to those most impacted by the virus. Netflix says that it is establishing a $100 million relief fund for workers in the worldwide creative community who have been affected by the suspension of most film and television production. Basketball stars of the NBA and the WNBA are filming public service announcements with tips for reducing risks, staying healthy, and practicing social distancing. International players Danilo Gallinari, Rui Hachimura, and Ricky Rubio shared a message from the World Health Organization saying, quote, "Please pay attention to what the health experts are advising, from good healthy habits to social distancing. Visit the World Health Organization for the most up-to-date information on the coronavirus. Let us be there for each other and let's work as one team." Other high-profile individuals affected by the coronavirus include Prince Charles, the 71-year-old heir to the British throne. He was tested positive for the coronavirus, but is said to be in good health and is now self-isolating in Scotland with some mild symptoms. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge made sure that they cleaned their hands with sanitizer as they toured a health service call center in London. William and Kate spent time talking to staff members while answering medical calls from the public. Then there are artists like John Legend, Coldplay's Chris Martin, and Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello, who performed free at-home concerts for fans on social media while interacting and taking requests from fans. And in Liberia, young people are getting creative in finding means to fight the pandemic among the local population. A young Liberian woman started making the African version of the face mask using Ankara fabrics to help prevent the spread of coronavirus.
After seeing the various masks around the world, I was inspired and I decided to take it to our local culture by creating an African version of it. You know, I was like, we too can make use of what we have in order to put an end to this whole coronavirus. We have almost all we need to fight this virus. We just need to think out of the box, be more creative, make use of what we have, and believe that this coronavirus is real, it exists in Liberia.
And there are stories that the threat of coronavirus is transforming much of our social lives, including how we date. 30-year-old Londoner Emily Gioka met a guy at a pub and was planning on a second date when the virus hit.
Then finally find somebody that I'm into, and now we're like quarantined from each other.
Instead of dinner out, they now plan to get together virtually. Gioka expects her video date will include a drink, possibly dinner, and a conversation.
So I was just like, okay, what if we do a FaceTime date? Like, it's maybe a bit cheesy and weird, but he was like, no, I like that. So now we're gonna have a FaceTime date tonight where we, I guess, like, have a drink, maybe eat dinner. I don't know if that's kind of weird, but just have a drink and like chat and keep our distance from each other.
First female millionaire who was also black.
Well, I knew about her since I was a little girl because my mother taught us about her. We were from humble beginnings. Madam was from humble beginnings. And Madam overcame her station. She dictated her path in life, and what an inspirational and aspirational story to use as an example for young people who were from nothing. And the fact that her story is not known, she was able to do all of that without having the right to vote or the right to own anything because of her gender and color. And if she was able to do that at the turn of the century, there is nothing that we can't do with the resources that we have. We have much more than she has. There were things that I felt that in my career that I needed within my contract, and you reach a point. Sometimes you reach an impasse, and I am always prepared to graciously walk away. Especially now, understanding my value as an actress, as a producer, and understanding what will be required of me when I'm on a set. So I was graciously bowing out. And LeBron and Maverick advocated for me, and it's terrible that they had to, but they did. And that's what we all need sometimes in the negotiating process. But you also have to be ready to say, thank you for thinking.
And before we end the show, here is a music video that might do more than entertain, produced by the group Yanamare in Senegal in French and in Wolof. The song Fagaru Corona, which means preventing corona in Wolof, combines music with messages, including how to recognize symptoms and washing your hands regularly. Let's take
jafe-jafe nooyi set daal ci gàttal dalay musal ci coronavirus ñu la jege fagaru gën faju digle yi nan ko jëfe sa bopp ñu la jege fagaru gën faju digle yi nan ko jëfe lëmbe na àdduna bi la jàngoro yaatu na lëmbe na àdduna bi la jàngoro yaatu na.
Il est question de prévenir, évitons les débats puérils. L'heure est grave, tous unis, faisons un sur le ring. L'union est vitale, le respect des consignes, capital pour vos querelles de bas étage. Ceci n'est pas normal, vous deguedouillons. Vos vidéos pour le buzz, des intox sur des intox. Ceci n'est pas normal, vous deguedouillons. On parle de millions de vies humaines, le Sénégalais est expert en tout, mais à chacun son domaine.
Tolo nañu jamono joo xam ne joxe loxo sax wóorule. Tolo nañu jamono joo xam ne di dajaloo sax waarule. Voice to gain sama gaañi ma ne moytu leen. Voice to gain loxo yi ñoom raxas leen. Aar sa bopp aar ñi la jege fagaru gën faju.
And thanks for watching VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are on Facebook, we are also on Instagram and on YouTube. Until next time, goodbye everyone.